Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Beat the Book. As always, I'm one of your hosts on this great show, MattyBets, joined by my partner in crime over here,
BigAL, Bettor. How you doing tonight, Matt?
BigAL Bettor. Doing good, doing good. Just finished watching Sunday Night Football. It was
Man,
kind of a good game, kind of a bad game, depending on which side of the coin your fandom falls on or where your bets lie to. But how about you? How you doing after that game?
man, it's sad to watch, man. I want Rodgers and the Jets to be so good, and then I just watch every single week, and my heart gets broken. Russell Wilson looked incredible, actually.
He did.
Um,
But welcome back to the league.
Welcome frickin' back. He made good decisions. He looked a little shaky at the beginning, but then he kind of like got his feet under him. After that deep ball he threw, you could just tell he felt comfortable, and he started making some good passes. He made good decisions. He didn't put the team in any bad spots, and he took what was available, and that's what you want from a quarterback. I just hope that Rodgers and Devontae and the boys can turn it on and turn the season around and go on a run here because they need to if they want to make the playoffs.
Yeah, we'll see. Kind of embarrassing. At the same time, too, not really. You were on the road, so we'll see. But let's move on. Like we'll talk about what this video is actually about. We're doing Monday night. We got a double header. We got this video coming out to you guys. We got the other one, the next one for the Cardinals and the Chargers. That one will be coming out shortly after this one does. So stay tuned for that one as well. But we're gonna start right off. Ravens at Bucks should be a pretty good game. Both these teams kind of coming off heaters of games. Ravens just beat the Commanders. A high scoring game on their part, and then the Bucks just destroyed the Saints, and they scored what
Yep,
50 points. I mean, it was insane how many points they scored. So both
they
teams
did
in a really
50.
good spot, uh, and trying to like keep that momentum going. Bucks are at home, Ravens on the road. Uh, what do you like about this game? I'll tell you what FanDuel has. FanDuel has Ravens favored by 3.5, and then over under set at 49.5.
DraftKings is same 3.5, but the over under set at 50 flat.
Okay.
And obviously, as we tell you guys all the time, we've said it multiple times if you guys have been tuning in. Always play multiple books if you're allowed to in your state, because you want to get the best line possible. So like if you were on the under, you'd want to play the 50 or 50.5 if that's available, and if you're on the under or on the over rather, um, you'd want to play the lower number. So always find the numbers that are best. Play multiple books if you're allowed to where you're at. So, but yeah, currently DraftKings has it at 50.
Okay. Cool. What do you think about this game? Where are you leaning? What are you thinking? How do you
We
think
know
the game
we know the
goes?
line. Lamar Jackson is 21-1 against the NFC, so I can't bet against that. I know it is a field goal with the hook. I do like the Bucks. If you guys have been watching, I've loved the Bucks all year long. I think I've taken them every single week. I don't think I've faded them one time. This week I am gonna fade them just because we know what the Ravens are. I know what the Ravens are, and regardless of the fact I love the Bucks, if it was 5.5, I'd think about it, but 3.5 is not enough. I think the Ravens probably win this game by a touchdown. So um, I have to take them, and I'm going to take the over because the Bucks have been able to put up points, and it's the Ravens' weakness is passing, and Baker has been dealing. Mike Evans was questionable when I looked earlier, so I don't know how successful he'll be in the air. Like Godwin's been a dog, but losing Mike Evans hurts a little bit. But I'm still going to take the over 50, and I'm going to take the Ravens minus 3.5.
Okay. Nice. Um, I like what you said there. All good things. Like you said with the Bucks, we know that they can score points. We know that they can most likely score points on this Ravens team. So I'm right there with you on the
Yep.
over. Uh, but I will say I do like they're getting me with the 3 points and the hook. They're getting me with that extra half a
Mm,
point with that, and I think this could be a close game where the Bucks do keep it close. Like you said with Lamar against the NFC, that's one thing that he does better than any other quarterback, especially AFC quarterbacks. Or I guess that's the only stat you can really take. But he doesn't lose to NFC teams, so I like them to be able to do a good job and win this game. I don't think they're going to win by more than a field goal. I think it'll be Justin Tucker at the end of the game to win it for them.
mm.
So
You're
that's why
thinking close.
I really do like the hook here. So I'm going to go with plus 3.5 with the Bucks.
Okay.
And then again, you never know, dude. Baker's a dog. Like he might even come out here and win this game too. And we also have seen two different versions of the Ravens too. We've seen the Ravens that kind of just pound the rock, throw the ball, like everything goes right. Game script is perfect. Like everything just falls into place for them, and they score 30, 40 points, whatever, uh, and kind of just blow the other team away, kind of play keep away with the other team. Defense gets takeaways. We've seen that before, but we've also seen the side of the Ravens where they just look a little stagnant. Nothing's really going. So I don't know. I didn't really want to take either because we've seen the same with the Bucks too. So that's why I didn't really want to go with the over. But you make a good point. The Ravens' weakness, if they have one, is the passing game, and Baker does like to pass the ball. And even if Mike Evans is playing this game and he's limited, it's still fine by me. I still like the Bucks to be able to score a lot of points on this defense.
Okay, so you on the over or the under?
I'm gonna stick with the over. My gut was telling me over.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So we're opposites on the spread, but we're both on the over.
We are in fact. I don't know. It's just like for me, the Ravens are incredibly good. I like and like I said, I do like the Bucks, but it's the Ravens and it's the NFC. Can't pick against that.
Yeah, well, you're not picking against it. Technically, you're picking against the spread. You still think that they'll
Right.
win the
So
game.
but I don't know how you can sit there and think that they're not. If the Ravens win the game, they're going to running the ball, keep away, scoring lots of points.
Yeah, but we saw what Baker did last week against the Saints. So I like
The
Baker to keep
Saints
that up.
with a backup quarterback.
No, I don't care about how many points the Saints scored. I care about how many points the Bucks scored.
Okay. Okay.
So that's why I like them to be able to keep this game close and
Okay.
maybe lose by a field goal. I like that a lot.
All right. All right. Let's go to head, Matt. What do you like? What are you taking as your head-to-head pick?
I like to be able to beat you, so we're gonna go Bucks plus 3.5.
Okay. I'm on the Ravens minus the 3.5.
Okay, perfect. I didn't know if you were going that or over, and I was like, I don't want to tie here, so let's go with the
I
Bucks.
was definitely I trust like I could fully see like a 41-3 game where we're way under, right? Well, not even way under, but the touchdown under.
Yeah,
I could see just a dominant or like a 35-10 game, right? Where it's just
yeah.
the Ravens just to keep the ball. And so I'm gonna take the Ravens all day, just minus the 3.5, and just trust it until the NFC can start to beat Lamar. Like, and I'm just telling you as the fans watching this show, if the Ravens come up and they're playing an NFC team, 98% of the time, depending on the number, if it's under 7, I'm probably just taking the Ravens every time, and
Yeah.
that's just what it is.
And that's
So
one of the scary things too about the Ravens is the fact that they've never had to play in a Super Bowl. They've never gotten to a Super Bowl because
right,
obviously that would get taken into account too, where it's like it doesn't matter where the Super Bowl is. Lamar
see, and
doesn't lose
that's
to
where
NFC teams.
that's where you might get the young man. If the Ravens get to a Super Bowl, like that stat, I'm probably just gonna crumple it up and throw it out the window because it's a Super Bowl. How can I use that stat? But that stat might be more valuable in a Super Bowl than it is outside. Like it's hard to say where that like if it becomes Ravens Packers, there's no chance I'm picking the Ravens.
Well, yeah, fair enough. You got to stick with
So
the
it's
home
like
team.
I don't know, it's tough. So all right, let's jump into the 4-pick parlays, Matt. What are we thinking here? Do you want to explain to the fans how we do the 4-pick parlays?
Yeah, so I mean it's pretty simple. 4 pick parlay. What we do, we each go through all the stat lines that they have for the game. We find our favorite ones. We throw them in, 4 of them. Boom, 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 and then boom, and throw them together. We give you guys the odds for it. They're a lot of fun for us. It's also the things that we feel most confident about. It's the ones that we like the most, and it's a little bit more bang for your buck than just doing straight up bets. So obviously, I said bang for your buck for a reason. Uh, but I will jump into mine first. We do 4 pick parlays. We have it. What
Which games do we do 4-pick parlays for?
prime times?
Prime times,
Prime
because
time
prime
games.
time 4-pick parlays. All right.
Prime time 4 pick parlays. Uh, Yep, and we range the odds anywhere from plus 500 all the way up to like plus 2,000. It's been the highest one that we've had so far this year. So, without further ado, I'll jump into mine. First off, we're going Chris Godwin anytime touchdown. Like you kind of alluded to at the start of the video, Chris Godwin's been the guy. Mike Evans hasn't been as heavily involved. He's still the go-to guy in my opinion, but he has been a little banged up this year. Godwin's just kind of been the more reliable because he's not hurt, so he's a little bit faster. It gets a little bit more separation. Uh, Obviously, Mike Evans is still the guy. If you need to win a 1v1, you're still throwing it to Mike Evans. But we like Chris Godwin with the touchdown. We also like Godwin 6+ receptions. He's been killing
Wow,
it in
that's
the
a lot.
yeah, but he's been killing it in the receptions department. So I like that a lot. Keep the trend going. Next, we're going Cade Otton, 25 receiving yards. He's the Bucks tight end over there. And then last but not least, we got Mike Evans, 4+ receptions. Just 4 catches. It shouldn't be too hard for him. It's Mike Evans. As long as he doesn't get injured in the first quarter or so, that'd be the only thing I'd be worried about with Mike Evans not getting 4. And that parlay pays out plus 607. We're keeping on the low end of this one, give it a little bit more, a little bit better of a chance for it to hit this week.
What was the reception yards for Otten?
25.
That feels super gettable.
Yeah, it does. Cade
So you
Otton's
went
the reliable guy there.
exclusively Bucks. You
Yeah,
like, oh,
so
Ravens team scores tons of points, has tons of offense. I don't want to touch any of those people.
okay, so this is all I'm gonna say. One person I was gonna take and wanted to take was Zay Flowers, but because of
Okay.
his game last week, he had 140 yards or 160 yards in the first half, whatever crazy number it was. It was over 100 yards in the first half. His numbers are juiced. We know that Derrick Henry, his numbers are juiced. Everybody on the Ravens is juiced, and they're actually giving him a discount. It seems like to me, at least, on these Bucks lines. So felt more
Sure.
comfortable taking the guys where it's not like as guaranteed as with the Ravens it would be. That's why the Bucks have the line set higher. So
Okay. Okay.
we're
I
playing the
understand.
system.
Okay. All right, let me jump into mine. It's a little higher than yours, not a ton. It's just a couple notches higher. Okay, so first I've got Baker to throw for 250 yards.
Yep.
Um, the last couple quarterbacks that played the Ravens have thrown for over this number, so I feel really comfortable as that as his floor. Then I have Lamar Jackson rushing for 40. If you guys have been watching our videos, when we have made prop parlays, I have taken Lamar for 40. He has run for over that in every single game. It's actually like minus 300. So
Okay.
that's how common it is for him to do that. My third and fourth are the same player, Mark Andrews, over 2.5 catches. He's done that the last 2 games, so he's on a 2-game streak. And then Mark Andrews over 50+ receiving yards. He has also done that in the last 2 games. He started the year slow. Since then, he's come on and he's back to kind of the guy we expected. So I'm playing a trend. I'm hoping it continues. So it's not guaranteed, but based on the last 2 games, he has hit these numbers. So I'm just banking on that to continue against a Bucks team that has a good defense, and that pays plus 900.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, like you said, that's kind of what BigAL does over here. He goes more for trends and stuff like that. I try to do the same thing a little bit, but for the most part too, I also like to look at whether it be touchdown regression or especially when I throw in my anytime touchdown players, it's the guys that are the most reliable that see a lot of targets, or it's the guys that haven't gotten the touchdown yet, and you know that they're bound to because they are such a focal point in the offense. So it'd be guys that have
Sure.
200-300 yards on the year with no touchdown, and that's the guys that I look for. I mean, we all go about it differently. Every bettor has their own way of betting, but that's just Big Al's over there. He's got all the trends the last 2-3 weeks. He likes seeing the trends, like with Lamar Jackson, the rushing yards. He's like, hey, he's hit this 40 yards. I don't care if they lower this to minus 500. I'll take it. Or maybe even raise it up a little bit. If it's at 45 that I need to go, to get that minus 300, I'll do it because he's been either above it or at it like every game. So,
Let me tell you, while you mentioned that, and this is for the fans, and if you guys are tuning into this specific video, I'm probably not going to bring this up after this, but Brock Purdy today did not hit 225. First time the whole year. So the trend has been broken.
trend
This
has
is the
been
first time
broken.
this whole year. Right. So what do you think we're betting next week?
We're going to be betting it again.
Correct. And it's going to be, and the odds will be better because he didn't hit it this time. He got to like 205 or something.
Yeah.
But so those are the trends I look for. I look for consistency because I want to hit a bet, right? And we're looking for things that are consistent because if a guy hits a number consistently, it's like, okay, like DK Metcalf, 50+ yards. He hit that for so many games. And I was like, okay, we'll bet it. And then he plays the Niners, he gets 49 and we lose based off that. It's just like, dang. But yeah, that's what I look for. And if he doesn't hit the number, the next week we're gonna bet that again because that's his floor.
And you've
So
seen him do it so many times too. Like when you see the player do it
right.
over and over and over again, it'd be like Brock Purdy. He's throwing for 250 or 225, and then he throws for 200. It's like, okay, cool. The book's going to give me a little bit better odds, and I know he's done it every week. He
Correct.
had one anomaly week where he played against a good defense, or it was just a bad week for the team. And it's a bounce back the next week.
And the stupid thing is I parlayed Brock Purdy today, 225 plus with Jordan Love, 2+ touchdowns because he's done that every week. And they were both heavy minus money plays, but together they were plus money. And then I missed Brock Purdy, and I was just like, of course this happens.
Of course.
Of course. But we hit the teaser. The Sunday video is a banger video that prints money for people. So that's a plug. But it was okay. It was okay, but it was just kind of unfortunate because we were so close.
You make up for
So
it with
anyway,
the teasers.
let's jump into the touchdowns. Let's not waste more time talking about what has been and what will be. Matt, what do you got for touchdowns for this game?
All right, so first of all, we're going to go Chris Godwin, plus 160. Like I said, he's in my 4-pick parlay. Got to go with him. We also have Zay Flowers at plus 160. Didn't have a touchdown last week, even though he had 160 receiving yards. So, like Zay Flowers, he should. I don't think he'll have as many yards this week, but I do like him to be able to find the end zone this week.
Okay.
And then I am going to go with Derrick Henry, 2+ touchdowns. He's done this in countless games this year. It's been 3 or 4. I'll have to get. I didn't bring the actual facts with me today, but he's done 2 or 3 times. If you've been watching the Ravens game, you know that Derrick is the beast. He's been killing it.
He leads the league.
He leads the league in touchdowns. There's a reason. I like him for 2 touchdowns. That's a plus 290. And then my reach of the week for this game is Cade Otton at plus 370.
Plus what?
Plus 370. That's my reach. Normally my reaches are 400 to 500. There wasn't any good options. I like Cade Otton though as the main tight end for the Bucs, and I like them to be able to get in the end zone.
So I don't know if you remember last year I told you this, and this was not because we were making videos last year, but I told you last year that one of the toughest teams to run the ball on was the Buccaneers. Do you remember that or no?
Yes.
That hasn't changed. They're still a very hard team to run the ball on.
Yes. Okay.
So for you to take Henry for 2 touchdowns is kind of insane.
Is it? Who has the best running O-line in the league?
No, I get that, but the thing is, they're so hard to run when Vita Vea plays, which he's going to be playing in this game. He's so big; he's 325 pounds or whatever.
Yes, I understand that, but at the same time, you got to understand that you have just as big of a guy coming at you in Derrick Henry.
He's not as Derrick Henry's not 350, dude.
No, I understand, but it's a figure of speech where it's like when
Derrick
Henry runs at you, I wouldn't be surprised if he stiff arms Vita Vea and goes right through him. He's the only one that I could actually see doing that.
Last year, the reason the Bucs had the reason the Bucs were a great run defense last season, it wasn't even that they were good at stopping the run. It was just people didn't want to run on him because you have to run it 25+ times before you actually get some success. And so if you're not willing to commit to that, you get no yards. And so it doesn't make sense. And so people were like, we'd rather throw. And that's the same thing so far this year. They're just a tough team to run on. So Henry can still get it. I'm not even saying he won't, but just taking him for 2 is just kind of, it cracks me up. And that's going to be a tough one. If it hits, I'll be happy for you.
Well, I think
Obviously,
it will.
I want your bets to hit.
I will say another thing. So you're talking about Vita Vea. He does play the middle of the defensive line usually. He's not like an edge rusher. He's usually the big guy up front.
Yes.
And they do like giving Derrick Henry outside runs. And that's where Derrick Henry flourishes, and that's where he breaks the big 60-yarders, the big 50-yarders, or even the 80-yarders sometimes. And Vita Vea can't catch him. Vita Vea will not even be what am I looking for? He won't even be a player or a factor. That's the word I'm looking for. He won't even be a factor on the play. So I like the Ravens to be able to do that a lot. Obviously, with the read option with Lamar, too, you're going to have to guess which way the ball's actually going to go. So that's the only reason why I have Derrick Henry in there for 2. So, but let's hear yours. For sure. I'm excited.
All right. I've got Lamar Jackson, plus 125 to run one in. Once again, Vita Vea, he's gonna blow up the middle. But Lamar's going to run it on the edges. He always does. Lamar's not running up the center. He's running around the edges. And that's usually most of Lamar's for touchdowns, I feel like, personally, watching his games, they come when a play breaks down and he's forced to scramble a little bit, and then he just takes it. It's not necessarily a design run. He has a couple design runs, but most of the time I feel like it's him buying time, and he's like, oh, I'm faster than you, bing, bong, bang, and he's in there. I've got Chris Godwin also, plus 160, just like you have him. And then my last one was Zay Flowers, and on DraftKings he's plus 150, and I just think he's kind of the guy. Now, it'll be Mark Andrews, it'll be likely, whatever, but Flowers is going to be the guy if it's a deep throw, if it's a long run, after catch, it's going to be Flowers. And then same with Godwin. Him and Baker have been linked so far, and my Godwin play is more if Mike Evans doesn't play.
Okay.
I like that a lot if he doesn't play, because who else is like Auten? Great pick, especially if Evans doesn't play. But Godwin is the guy, and even when Evans is in, Godwin is the guy. So
Yeah, I don't
um,
know. I don't know how I feel about that Lamar Jackson one though, because like I don't know if you remember this or not, but a while ago we talked about the Bucks' really good run defense, and I just don't know if Lamar's gonna be able to get there. You know, with Villa, Villa is a really good defender. I just don't know if Lamar will actually be able to get into the end zone. You know what I mean?
once again, Lamar's not running towards Vita Vea like, oh, I can out juke you or something. No, it's Vita Vea's on the right. Lamar scrambles left, and then the linebacker turns his back, and he's like, "See ya." It's not going to be like some, you know, it's like I think it's going to be from 25, 30 yards out, not where you think he's running it in. It's going to be a fake to Derrick Henry. Vita Vea bites on that, and then he runs it through the hole. That's what it is.
Hmm. For sure. I was just taking a stab at you because you didn't like my Derrick Henry play,
That's
and
fine.
you're
That's
like
fine.
the
I like
Bucks
Derrick.
defense and all this. It's like
I
Derrick
like
Henry's gonna do the same thing. He's not gonna run right at Villa Veda. He's gonna go to the outside.
I like Derrick Henry for one touchdown. I just don't know if I like him
Yeah,
for two.
well,
That's all.
the book likes it for one touchdown too, but I don't.
What?
The book's like a minus 200 for him to get a touchdown. I'm not taking that straight up. I'd rather get the extra
Right.
money with
Right.
the two.
Of course,
But
the odds aren't good enough.
nah, they're not. I like to get a little spicy
Right.
with my touchdown picks.
For sure. For sure.
All right, well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There you have it. That's Ravens at Bucks, Monday Night Football, the first of two. Like I said, that other video will be coming out very shortly after this one does. We're gonna work on the scheduling of it, but we're gonna get both these videos out to you guys before the games start. Most likely 8 to 10 hours before the games start. And if you want to follow us and like, subscribe, comment down below, especially with the little altercation that we had. I know I was doing some stuff over here on the side of the screen. If you guys, if you guys like that, that's awesome. We're doing that all year long, every week. We got 4 or 5 videos coming to you guys, depending on how many Monday night games they have. And yeah, anything else you want to add to that, Al?
All I will say is, like, we appreciate all the interactions. Appreciate you guys for watching. So thank you for that, and we will catch you guys in the next video.